Dancing is my passion.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't been easy.
Now I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Monday on ET, only we're at Jamie Lynn Spears' Dancing with the Stars rehearsals.
And it is Latin week. Jamie Lynn, Alan, are we ready?
Happening now.
A trial for two former SAPD officers accused of aggravated assault started today. We're in the courtroom where the defense claims they were just doing their jobs. It's next. Plus, childcare and food for seniors, two programs that could be impacted by a looming government shutdown. We'll tell you if those services might be interrupted.
A few opportunities for rain this weekend, but the big story is next week's cold front. We'll talk timing, rain chances, and temperature drop in just a bit. News at 5 starts right now.
They used to carry out the law, and now they're on trial. Former San Antonio police officers Carlos Castro and Thomas Villarreal are accused of beating up a man inside of his own home back in early 2020.
Their trial began this morning. They're charged with aggravated assault by a public servant. And as Garrett Berger tells us, their defense was it's just part of the job.
In January 2020, police say Eric Wilson was speeding and failed to signal a turn. But the head of the Civil Rights Division in the DA's office says that while in his east side driveway, Wilson was faced with San Antonio police with their guns drawn.
He reacted, "I'm not sure I want any of this." And he went into his home.
He says police demanded Wilson come out. Wilson didn't, but police went in.
But in the 2 minutes of that entry, Wilson was pummeled 20 plus times about his head and face.
But in their opening arguments, the defense repeatedly hammered that Carlos Castro and Thomas Villarreal had rough jobs that required rough action, that in this case was justified.
What may look awful is not unlawful.
Defense attorney Jason Goss says Wilson knew police were behind him before he got home, and he did not have the right to try to get away into his house. And when police made their way in, Goss said they only used force until they got Wilson's hands.
You show your hands, you don't get punched. If you won't show your hands and resist arrest, you will get punched.
While prosecutors say the officers did not apply the law appropriately.
When you're on the left-hand side of the V, how we arrive at that answer matters. We have to show our work here.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Also in court today, a jury convicted Paul Donaldson of intoxication manslaughter in the death of Armando Ortiz. The verdict was handed down this afternoon, lawyers giving closing arguments this morning, and then the case went to jurors. They found Donaldson guilty of driving the wrong way for 6 miles on I-35 back in January of 2017 and then crashing into Ortiz. According to prosecutors, at the time, Donaldson had trace amounts of drugs in his system, including meth. Now, because Donaldson has a previous conviction in Tarrant County, he could be sentenced up to 99 years in prison, and he's going to learn just how long he's going to serve his sentence on November 6th.
More than a week after withdrawing from a plea deal, the attorney for a woman accused of killing a man while driving the wrong way on 1604 is claiming his client was insane. The lawyer for Mariana Campos Jimenez also in court today in front of a judge, the judge granting the DA's request that Campos Jimenez undergo competency examinations. Just last week, her attorney told the court he mistakenly advised his client she would get probation for involuntary manslaughter if she took a plea deal. The plea was withdrawn. Campos Jimenez is charged with causing the crash that killed 44-year-old Gabriel Gallegos in 2020. His family is frustrated.
We went from going to sentencing to now effectively starting all over. I believe that Mariana's attorney is trying to do everything within his power to avoid his client receiving any kind of accountability for killing my brother.
A trial date has not been set.
Let's talk about traffic outside here. All the lanes of South Flores are now back open after police say that a man crashed into a utility pole, causing the wires to separate from the pole. Happened around 2 o'clock today. Happened in the 2400 block of South Flores near Bank Street and Cass Avenue. Officers at the scene are telling us that the man had some type of medical episode while he was driving and then hit a CPS pole. Look at that. Now, of course, the pole broke in several spots. They say that the man's vehicle kept moving down the street for another block before it actually stopped. SAPD closed South Flores until CPS could repair the pole and also the lines, and the street reopened just before 4 o'clock. Now, this is something a lot of people are worried about, from the food that's delivered to homebound seniors to childcare. These are some of the federally funded programs that could really take a hit if the government shuts down.
Camila Juarez tells us how people in our area would be affected.
Even if we know the money's going to come at some point, any sort of interruption is, always a little scary.
Forest, Maine with Meals on Wheels says a large portion of their funding comes from the federal government, while Meals on Wheels expects to continue serving the 4,000 seniors in our area. A potential shutdown can slow cash flow.
Purchasing food, purchasing the trays that we deliver food in, paying for the gas for our vehicles. The cost of all of that stuff has gone up a lot in recent years.
Maine says it's concerning, but Meals on Wheels of San Antonio is fortunate to have other streams of income, much of it donated. However, as Congress tries to create a budget, Maine hopes seniors are not on the chopping block.
If they decide to cut funding on the Older Americans Act, then that could affect our ability to serve people. We hope it doesn't.
Head Start, an early education and family services program, says its services will not be interrupted.
We are business as usual. We will continue to keep thriving.
Rhonda Roach with Head Start San Antonio says their program is lucky because its budget begins earlier in the year. Roach encourages people to continue enrolling in programs despite a possible shutdown. Camila Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
So before you split open that cantaloupe, listen to this. There is a recall on cantaloupe because of the threat of salmonella. The Food and Drug Administration says that Eagle Produce in Scottsdale, Arizona, issued a voluntary recall of nearly 6,500 cases of whole cantaloupe after they were possibly contaminated with the bacteria. Now, those cantaloupes were sold between September 5th through the 16th in several retailers throughout the U.S., and this recall involves 19 states, including Texas, D.C., California, Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. Symptoms of salmonella include fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Now, so far, there have been no reported illnesses, but if you bought one of those cantaloupes, don't eat it, just throw it out.
And a warning has been issued affecting a certain bassinet. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is warning that 5-in-1 rocker bassinet poses threats of suffocation, strangulation, and fall hazards to babies. They were sold online at Walmart.com and other websites and were sold in green and gray color schemes. The agency also says the bassinets failed to meet the safety requirements of infants' sleep product rules. Officials add the product's importer, Rev Grace Import, is not cooperating and is not offering a remedy to consumers. If this bassinet is in your home, the agency is urging you to stop using it immediately and throw it away.
Another news in Washington, longtime Senator Dianne Feinstein has died at the age of 90. The California Democrat was the longest serving female senator in U.S. history. She was also the oldest current member at the time of her death. Feinstein, a former mayor of San Francisco, was first elected to the U.S. Senate back in 1992. During her time in Washington, she was involved in numerous hot-button issues, including the 1994 federal assault weapons ban and the 2014 CIA torture report. She took an extended absence from the Senate back in February when she was hospitalized for shingles, and then she returned 3 months later. And just last month, she was in the hospital after falling.
The judge presiding over the deadly school shooting case in Michigan says the teenage shooter could spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. Ethan Crumbley shot and killed 4 students at Oxford High School in 2021. Last October, he pleaded guilty to numerous counts, including first-degree murder. Attorneys in the case are waiting to see if the judge agrees with the prosecution that life in prison without parole is an appropriate sentence. And the judge did reportedly say the court could not find that Crumbley could be rehabilitated and that his crime did not have, quote, the hallmarks of youth, unquote. Crumbley, who was 17 years old and was 15 at the time of the shooting, is expected to be officially sentenced on December 8th. And the United Auto Workers Union officially expanding its strike against 2 of the big 3 automakers. A second Friday deadline has come and gone with no deal on the table. The union's president saying there was, quote, a flurry of interest just before a union live stream announcing 2 more plants that would join the national walkout.
But this afternoon, then, executives at one of the 3 automakers says that they feel that they are close to making a deal. So what gives? Laura Aguirre has the details.
We are fed up with corporate greed.
The United Auto Workers Union president greenlighting another wave of walkouts Friday.
I'm calling on an additional 7,000 members across Ford and GM to go on strike.
The expansion impacts a Ford assembly plant in Chicago and a GM factory in Lansing, Michigan.
Ford and GM have refused to make meaningful progress at the table.
Ford's CEO responded to that claim in an online media call.
The deal we offered would put our UAW workers among the best paid hourly manufacturing jobs in the world and in the top 30% of all full-time workers in America of any industry. And the benefits are absolutely top tier, as you can see.
Stellantis, which owns Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, was spared in this round.
Stellantis made significant progress on the 2009 cost of living allowance, the right not to cross a picket line, as well as the right to strike over product commitments and plant closures and outsourcing moratoriums.
But progress is not a done deal, and overall divisions remain over key issues like wage increases, pension plans, cost of living raises, and forced overtime.
We all got families, bills. We just trying to survive. We just trying to make it.
I'm still very hopeful that we can reach a deal that reflects the incredible sacrifices and contributions our members have made over the last decade.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Now taking a look at TransGuide on this nice, hot, warm Friday afternoon. It's 281 and Loop 410. As typical for this time of day, traffic. But things are looking pretty smooth out there.
Yeah, considering it's 95 degrees. Yeah, and you see some of that traffic there. That's just past the airport. Yeah, you were right, Sean Paul. I mean, you Sean Paul, listen to me. It happens all the time. 5:09 right now. I know. Now I'm thinking of a reggae song. But yeah, it usually happens on a Friday afternoon, so we're not too concerned about that.
You know it's Friday when Stephania calls me Sean Paul.
Yes. I have reggae on the mind.
That's never going to get old. Got to bring back Club KSAT when we put the music on in the newsroom, do a little dancing. Good day for it on this Friday. Quiet weather. Nothing to worry about weather-wise when it comes to high school football or any outdoor activities this evening. A few showers right near the Gulf Coast, but that's it. 94 in Eagle Pass, 96 in Floresville. For the most part, we're in the low to mid 90s, some upper 90s out there. Lavernia, for example, 98, 96 in Mico, and Bernie checking in at 94. By 8 o'clock, we're at 88 degrees, 10 o'clock, 84. It's more of the same temperature-wise, so a little above average for this time of year. An east wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Some weekend rain chances to talk about in a little bit. We'll get to that. But more importantly, an update on next week's cold front. We'll talk timing, rain chances, and temperature drop in a bit.
Uh-oh, you know it's something when Adam's he did a little shimmy when he sees that. All right. Well, straight ahead, we all know this, caregivers really have it rough, especially those who take care of their loved ones around the clock. But there's one person they usually neglect, themselves. And now experts are stressing self-care. We'll talk about that up ahead.
All right, here's a look at what we're working on for the News at 6. As the deadline for government funding approaches, the Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol are on high alert. A government shutdown could have far-reaching consequences on our nation's security and immigration enforcement. The big Light the Night celebration is around the corner, but Chris's Children's got in on the fun a little early. They honored the end of treatment for 3 special cancer patients. Coming up at 6, we're introducing you to one of them who now has a new dream for the future. And giving back to the community and changing lives. It's Pastor Jimmy Robles and Last Chance Ministries' mission, and now it's expanding in the way of a family affair. The pastor's son, Jimmy III, is opening up his own church to take on Last Chance Ministries' next chapter. All that and more today on the News at 6.
Lots of good news. It's Good News Friday. All right. So many of you, of course, take care of a sick parent or a child. And recently, caregivers have been a part of the national conversation because of what's happening with Bruce Willis. His wife, Emma, has been very vocal about the struggles of caregiving for her husband. As you know, the actor's family went public with his diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia earlier this year.
Yeah, caring for a loved one who's sick can take a toll on physical and mental health. Andy Gaither has ways caregivers can also care for themselves.
One more.
It's a labor of love, but being a caretaker to a loved one who can't care for themselves isn't easy.
Caregivers often face a relentless cycle of responsibilities with really little respite.
Nick Allen is leading an ongoing study at The Ohio State University researching the toll caregiving takes. Over time, he says caregivers can feel extreme stress, isolation, and depression, and it can be made worse if the care partners don't care for themselves, too.
Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
Allen says that starts by maintaining social connections, keeping up activities you enjoy.
Most hobbies that people have align with their values. And so when somebody lets them go, life can become a little bit unmoored from those values.
Focus on your physical health by being active and take care of mental health too. Allen says coping skills are key.
We believe even brief stress reduction skills can improve quality of life immensely.
If you know someone who's caring for another, it's also important to support them. Allen says that includes educating yourself on what it means to be a caregiver, providing emotional support, offering respite care, and if that's not possible, showing them compassion and empathy.
Let them know that you see them, hear them, and support them.
For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
Yeah, basically, let's be considerate of other people and their responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just hot take, yeah. 95 degrees out there right now. This is near the airport. Looks like a beautiful day out there. A really nice way to start the weekend. At least it looks that way. But all right, you were very excited about a cold front, Adam.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a bit since yesterday, and I've got an update for you. And I just want to point out that don't expect any changes until about Thursday of next week. So it's going to be some time. But
put a hold on the shimmy.
Put a hold on the shimmy. On the little shimmy.
You do. That's your thing.
Now, full disclosure, when we do Club KSAT, pretty much I'm the only one dancing in the newsroom, okay? Let's be honest. Isolated weekend rain, then a cold front next week. That's likely to hit around Wednesday night. The timing's going to change, though, between now and then. And then changes will be noticeable by Thursday and Friday of next week. So it's going to be more of the same for a little while here. Take a look at the weekend forecast. Mornings in the 70s, afternoons in the lower 90s. Fairly similar. We're just trimming off a few degrees. Now, each afternoon, a few isolated to very widely separated showers and non-severe storms should pop up. We're talking a 20 to 30% chance. Here's a look at Futurecast, giving us a good representation of what to expect. Most of the day, dry. It's into the afternoon and early evening. A few showers developing first near the coast and then inland later on. But it's not going to be a whole lot of activity, and most of us won't get hit. Now, I want to basically fast forward to rain chances next week. Still isolated in nature through Tuesday. By Wednesday, we boost it to 40%, and Wednesday night up to 60%. That's the most notable change with that cold front, likely to hit at some point late Wednesday on into Wednesday night, giving a boost to our rain chances. And of course, there's a lot of time between now and then. This forecast will be modified and fine-tuned in the days ahead. Some of those coastal showers having a hard time making it inland this afternoon, but I want to talk about the big picture. This is what we're watching. Look at this trough, beautiful trough. Wonderful trough. This trough moving into the western U.S. This is going to dig southward, cut itself off from the main flow for a few days. So it's going to be drifting. Then it opens itself back up, and that's important because then it progresses eastward, and this long wave trough digging down the central part of the U.S. is going to clip us and be enough to shove that front through around Wednesday night next week. Let's talk temperatures and what's going to happen there. 95 today. The average is 87. Main point with the cold front next week, it'll bring our temperatures slightly below average. So let's talk about tomorrow morning. 74 in San Antonio, some upper 60s in the hill country. By Saturday afternoon, we're 93 in Carrizo Springs and Gonzales, Stone Oak 92, La Jolla 95, Von Army 93, and Helotes about 90. High temperatures in the low 90s early next week, then they drop off. We're not talking sweater weather here, okay? I know when you hear cold front, thinking, oh, pumpkin spice lattes and stoke up the fireplace. Okay, not that kind of a cold front. Mid-80s for highs Thursday and Friday, but look at the morning temperatures. At least we'll have some 60s in the mornings by Thursday and even into Friday, and lower humidity Friday as well.
I'll take it, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, find somebody that talks about troughs.
Yeah, I know. Say it one more time.
Oh, beautiful trough.
Thanks for that, Adam. All right, Larry. Friday means Friday Night Lights. What do you got working?
Yeah, we got a lot of games for you tonight. I think 14 or 15 scheduled right now, including our big game, which is Blanco at Randolph, a key 13-3A1 contest, and former Spurs guard Joshua Primo has himself a new team coming up. Big game and our big game coverage tonight. We'll see the Blanco Panthers at the Randolph Rohawks in the key District 13-3A1 matchup. The Rohawks are 5-0 this season and 1-0 in district. They're very athletic and they've outscored their opponents this season 205-64. But tonight they'll have their hands full with the Blanco Panthers, who are 4-1 overall and 1-0 in district. Blanco is one of the physically toughest 3A teams around. Now the winner of this one will go a long way in determining the district championship.
Randolph, they're a very athletic team and very well coached. We played them last year. It was 10-7, a very close game, so I think it'll be close again. And I think if we come out and play our game, it'll be a good one.
Randolph, a very physical team. I know that they lost a bunch of kids on each side of the ball from last year, but they're still going to be good. This will be physical. I know they got a couple guys on there, and they moved around a couple players, and they're going to be a good team. That's all I know.
What do you know about Blanco? I actually have been playing with the quarterback since 7th grade football, so we know he's improved a lot. We've improved a lot, so I think it's just good. Senior year, finally battled out for who improved the most.
Blanco's a good team. They're well coached. They play really hard. They'll probably play the hardest out of any team we play this season. So it'll be exciting. It'll be a good test for us.
Blanco at Randolph is our game of the week here on KSAT 12. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction tonight on the night beat. It's one of 14 games we're scheduled to get. And the road trip this evening will feature stops in Pearsall, Charlotte, and Jourdanton, where Robstown and Bandera are playing a neutral site game. Mary will take a look at Pearsall Mavericks coming up tonight at 6. The NBA announced today that former Spurs guard Josh Primo has been suspended 4 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the NBA. The league determined that Primo engaged in inappropriate and offensive behavior by exposing himself to women. Primo, who was selected 12th overall in the 2021 NBA draft, was unexpectedly waived by the Spurs October 28, 2022. The next day it was revealed that Primo allegedly exposed himself to several women, including former Spurs psychologist Hillary Cawthon, who alleged the player exposed himself to her repeatedly during private therapy sessions. Now, this news today got people thinking that Primo was about to sign with an NBA team, and that turns out to be true. The Woj is reporting that Primo is planning to sign a 2-way contract with the Los Angeles Clippers, and that Primo is engaged in ongoing therapy, which he will continue in Los Angeles.
Definitely some interesting news, and people can't forget that he was highly sought after coming out of the draft.
Very much so, yes.
Coming out of college, yeah. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for that, Larry.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this.
You're going to hear a lot about the cold front in the days ahead. Just know nothing's really going to change much until next to Thursday. A lot of time between now and then. Some isolated pop-up afternoon showers and non-severe storms this weekend and early next week. Best shot at rain, 60% Wednesday night with that front.
That's looking good. And we just want you to have an awesome weekend and a nice dinner break. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock. World News is next.
Thanks for watching, guys.